ciel bleu vole en silence.
Well, will you look at that? Look at that. Look what she's wearing at her age. She should be ashamed of. Look what she's wearing at her age. You can't dress like that over 50. This is what we don't want to turn into, right? This is what we don't want to turn into. There's so many rules. There's so many rules about dressing our age, right? Dressing our age. What is appropriate to dress in after a certain age? At 50, at 60, at 80, at 90. I don't care how old you are. There are so many rules, and we hear so many voices, and we get so much feedback, both unsolicited and unwelcome, and friendly and welcome. So how do we know how to dress our age? How do we not turn into this and instead have a modern approach to dressing for where we're at and our age and our stage and our life and our bodies right now, right here, without spouting off all of these dated rules and ideas about what works and what doesn't after a certain age. So my name is Netta. If you're new here, I'm a personal stylist. My whole focus here is on helping you build your best and most confident wardrobe over 40. I also do that through my Ageless Style program, where I have coached over 5,000 women on to fabulous everyday style, and really just that ease and the comfort that comes with feeling confident in your clothes every single day. So if you're new here, welcome. I hope that you'll consider subscribing by the end of this video. Very excited. This is kind of a talky video. I promise not to talk too long, because I have so much to unpack about this topic. But really, when I started doing YouTube and really started sharing pictures of myself more publicly, I did not share pictures of myself for a long time, because I'm a personal stylist and my focus is my clients and not on myself. And then I realized, it helps to illustrate some of the things that I'm talking about. I wanted to show you what worked for me and what doesn't work for me as a petite woman, 54, with my body, with my, size specifications, all the things that I have going on. We are all unique. And I kind of wanted to show, okay, this is what style looks like for me at this stage of life. So I started sharing more pictures. And of course, when I started sharing more pictures, I started getting more feedback. Some of it and most of it is friendly and happy and positive. And sometimes it's just not. Sometimes it's just not. And sometimes I get comments like, I'm going to pop up a couple here. I cannot believe you wear your hair that long in your 50s. Like, really, you should be cutting. That's just way too much hair for you. Your hair is way too long. You really would look good with a pixie cut. Now, that's a suggestion and not necessarily a criticism, but I get all the time, like, I can't believe you wear your hair that long over 50, over 40, over 60. I also shared a picture of this outfit and had someone tell me, well, your legs are not just regular skinny, they look like old skinny. Yeah. And then I also had someone say, oh, I don't think we should be showing our arms over 40. Really? Like, what? Did I miss that memo? Where does it say that we can't show our arms over 40, or that we have to cut our hair, or that we can no longer show our kneecaps? I think that these rules have really, it's time. It's time to retire them and to come up with some new rules based on your preferences, your personal style, and what flatters you and brings out your best. That's always my goal here, is to help you bring out your best, and not to lay down some arbitrary rules that many of us have been handed down and have been passed down through generations, like edicts. These are not the 10 Commandments with Moses coming down and saying, you shall not bare arms. Bare your arms. You shall not show your knees. You shall not wear your hair long. You shall not wear bright colors. So let's unpack a couple of these rules and the things that we heard. Let's talk about the new rules of dressing our age in 2024. First of all, if we take a step back, it's important to recognize that we don't look the way that we used to, so we shouldn't dress the way that we used to. And I mean largely as a culture. If you look at the way that women were portrayed in movies and on television when they were in their 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s, back in the 80s and 90s, even as recently as the 80s and 90s, there's been a dramatic shift. So a woman of 50 in 1980 does not bear any resemblance, either physically or style-wise or grooming-wise, to a woman of 50 in 2024. We have changed. changed. So why would we use the same rules that they came up with in 1960 or 1980 or 2000 in 2024 when we don't look that way anymore? We don't look that way anymore. If you look at a movie star, how a movie star even looked in her 50s back then, and how a movie star like, celebrities like Jennifer Aniston and Salma Hayek and Jennifer Lopez and Julia Roberts, how they are reinventing what it looks like to look, to be in your 50s now. It's a dramatic shift. It's a dramatic shift. So it's important to recognize that the rules were created when women looked different and the expectations for how we aged were different. Now, a lot of why we're seeing like women who seem ageless in society right now and in pop culture, especially celebrity culture right now, is because these women, their only job is to look good, right? Their only job, Jennifer Lopez, like people like that, their job is to look good and to look youthful. And even though we may not have access to the same resources that they have to look ageless and to defy time the way that they do, we look very different. Our styling, our hair, our skin, our teeth, our grooming, all of that looks very different than it did for our mothers or our grandmothers. So we have to shift the rules accordingly, and we have to come up with our own set of rules that are relevant for where we're at right now in 2024. Okay, so let's unpack some of those rules. What does it look like? First thing I will point out is that, and something I say to the women in my Ageless Style program all the time, no one can see your age and no one can see your size. No one knows how old you are. You're not wearing your age on the front of your shirt like a name tag. Nobody knows how old you are. What they do know is your energy. So the very first rule I want to talk about is to dress your energy, not your age. Dress your energy, not your age. You may seem younger and more vibrant or more energetic than you are. You may seem a little bit more mature, a little bit more classic than you are. So I feel like when we're talking about style, we're always talking about harmony and harmonizing with what we look like and our physical design, where it's at right now, and bringing out the best in that. And a way to do that and a way to view that, the new way to view it is looking at harmonizing with your current physical appearance. So dressing your energy and not your age is key. Again, nobody knows how old you are. So if you're 60 and you feel 40, then dress 40. If you're 80 and you feel 60, dress 60. Dress your energy, not your age. I really think that the emphasis that we put on what we can wear and what we should stop wearing after a certain age shifts the focus to the wrong things. It makes us judgy and it makes us insecure. And I don't want that, either of those for you. I don't want us judging each other based on rules that we all grew up with and that we were all given. And I don't want you to judge yourself that way either. I don't want you to turn that lens or turn that criticism on yourself and say, well, I'm 40 now, I'm 60 now, I'm 80 now. I probably shouldn't be wearing that. Instead, really focus on harmonizing with your body and bringing out your best through your style choices, rather than paying attention to what that number on the calendar says or that age says, because none of that is really going to impact how you look in your clothes. At the end of the day, we're talking about how we look in our clothes. And so that is going to come down to dressing your energy and not your age. Okay, rant over. Feel so strongly about that. Second is that age should be the least significant thing that we look at when we're looking at picking clothes and picking styles, hair, makeup, clothes, all of that. So I want you to use your filters. That's the second rule of aging well and dressing your age in 2024. Now, by filters, I don't mean the filters on Instagram that are going to make you look, like plastic and 20. I'm talking about using the filters that I talk about on this channel, the way that you filter down all the clothes that exist in the universe to the clothes that work for you. The clothes that work for you. What are those filters? What works for my body? What works for my lifestyle? What works for my personal style? What works for my coloring? Coloring is, like, I would say, the top filter that you should be using. So if you're on a website, for example, like Nordstrom, you want to filter by what are my best colors? What are my best silhouettes? What are the clothes I'm going to reach for and wear in my actual life? What is my personal style? Those should be your filters. Those should be the rules that you use, or the criteria that you use to determine what's going to make it into your wardrobe and what's going to stay out of your wardrobe. Those are the gatekeepers, the velvet rope for your wardrobe. Age does not belong on that list because age is not going to directly impact how you look at your clothes, how you look in your clothes. So we're looking at what's going to make the biggest difference and how we look in our clothes and how people perceive us and how we feel in our clothes, how confident and energized and vibrant we feel in our clothes. So the filters that affect how you look in your clothes are the ones that are going to be the most important to you. Age is not on that list. Age is not on that list. It's not one of your filters. So using your filters strategically so that you can make the best choices for your wardrobe, so you can bring in clothes that are going to make you look and feel your best. That's my goal, everything I do here. Okay, the next new rule for dressing our age in 2024 is to level up instead of toning it down. Level up, don't tone it down. So what does that mean? Often we're told, oh, you need to stop wearing those bright colors and those flashy clothes. Stop wearing glitter or sparkle or sequins, hot pink or bright prints or whatever it is. We're told to tone it down. We're told to retreat into the background and blend in with the wallpaper or whatever. Like that. And again, these are dated ideas that many of us grew up with, and we're like, well, really? Like, am I going to wear that at my age? And I hear women in their 30s saying things like this. I'm like, really? You can wear whatever you want. And you can always wear whatever you want. But toning it down is a message that many of us got. And sometimes it's not even age specific. Sometimes we're just told to just like take it back, dial it back a little. And I don't want you to do that. Instead, I want you to focus on leveling up. And by leveling up, I mean leaning more into your own personal style and also leaning more into quality and fit and grooming and all of the things that are going to make your outfits come together so that you really look and feel your best. This is something I focus on with my one-on-one clients when I'm working with them and with my Ageless Style Program members. Like, how can we level up? And how can you take where you're at with your style and take it up to the next level? How can you be more elegant and more beautiful and more vibrant and more expressive of your personal style? Bring out more of the best in your body. Build a wardrobe that reflects more of who you are and who you want to be. That's what I mean by leveling up. Really like focusing on the quality and the fit and the fabric and how those details make us look and feel in our clothes. This is what we should be focused on in 2024. Not on toning it down because we hit a certain number. Okay, next, focus on harmony. So everything I've been talking about really plays into what makes us look our best in our clothes. And at the end of the day, the everything that we talk about when we talk about style, when we talk about flattery, really comes down to your clothes need to harmonize with your physical design. Your clothes need to harmonize with you. They need to look like they belong on you. They do not need to look, you do not want them to enter the room 20 minutes before you do. You do not want them to look like they are separate from you. You want them to flow with your design so that you look and feel your best in them. So I've used this example in the past, but when we used to play with paper dolls when we were little and the clothes sat off the paper dolls in like an awkward way, they didn't look like they belonged on the dolls. They looked like they were placed on the dolls. So that is the opposite effect that we want with our clothes. We want clothes that look like they belong on us, like they work on us, like they harmonize with us. And when we get that, when we achieve that effect, we're going to look beautiful in our clothes. And that is my goal for you. It's for you to look beautiful in your clothes and then to look in the mirror and be like, oh my goodness, I look good. I feel good. I feel confident. And now I can go out into the world and radiate and put my light and my unique energy and my unique kindness out into the world because I have checked the box of taking care of myself and presenting myself well. When that box is checked, the way that you interact with other people is going to be dramatically changed. So that comes with harmonizing with your looks and with your physical design. And all of the filters that I gave you are going to help you harmonize. Dressing your energy is going to help you harmonize. Dressing in colors that suit you and silhouettes that bring out the best in your body, those are going to help your clothes to harmonize with your body. And that should be our goal. Rant over again. The next style rule, edict that we should be adopting in 2024 for dressing our age is to be more you, not more mature. So there are so many rules out there about what it looks like to dress in a mature way, and instead I want you to focus on dressing more like you. And remember that red and purple, which I remember thinking was so like, I just could not relate to it at all, 20 years ago, and they're like the ladies with the purple hats and the red outfits, and their whole thing is, when I'm old, I'm gonna wear red and purple together. Well, we're here. We're at the age that they were talking about back then when I was like, what are they talking about? They're so old. But the idea is, what do you want to wear, and how can your personal style come out more? You know yourself better than you ever have, and you probably have toned down some of the voices in the background that have told you, oh, you can't wear that, or maybe you're in a different workplace setting where you've got more freedom and more flexibility to dress like yourself. So be more you, not more mature. Rather than saying, I just turned 60, I now need to burn my shorts and burn my two-piece bathing suits. Ask yourself, how can I be more me? What do I really want to wear? What is my heart telling me to wear? And how can I bring more of that into my personal style? Because really, when you dress more like you, people are going to pick up on that. You're going to feel more authentic and more like yourself, and love the way that you look even as you age. So this is, instead of focusing on necessarily like looking younger in our clothes, why don't we focus on looking more like ourselves in our clothes? Because that's what's going to be that bridge that's going to help us age more gracefully. We're going to love the way that we look if we look like ourselves. We're going to feel off if we're trying to look younger or trying to look like we used to look in the past. Okay, finally, balance is beautiful. Balance is beautiful. So what are you looking for when you're looking at creating outfits and compositions? You're looking at creating a balanced effect with your outfit. In the same way that when you're cooking, you're looking at creating a balanced dish that has a nice, harmony of flavors, right? I don't achieve that very well because I'm not a cook, but I am a stylist, so I can help you create a balanced outfit. And what does balance mean? Balance means that you want, in most outfits, this is going to be very dependent on your personal style. You want a focal point, and then you want a place for the eye to rest. So if you look at creating balanced outfits, and if your goal is to create balanced outfits, of course there are people who have all quiet outfits and people who have all loud outfits, and that is totally fine, because again, it's an expression of your personal style. But for many of us, that in-between area is where we're going to be, and so we're looking at creating balanced compositions with our outfits, and that means having one loud element and one quiet element, having one thing that stands out and one place for the eye to rest. That's really going to create a balanced look that's going to be modern and fresh and look harmonized, look balanced, and not look off to you. So really focus on putting together balanced outfits. Now I'm going to talk about this in terms of how much skin we show, because this is something I get feedback a lot about, like a lot. I literally have had comments like, I can't believe you're showing your arms. Aren't you 54 years old? Yeah, but I don't have a problem with my arms, and I'm going to continue to show my arms. That skirt is too short for a woman at your age. I've had feedback about my legs being so skinny. Can't believe you're showing your legs. Your legs are so skinny. And somebody even said your legs are skinny and like mature looking, not skinny like a model looking. I'm like, I'm not trying to be a model. I'm just a personal stylist in her 50s who's trying to help other women with their style. So we get comments I get comments all the time, and many of us hear feedback and hear buzz in wherever we're at, whatever circles we're in, about what's appropriate in terms of showing skin and not showing skin. And this is my guidance for that. We're going to take out the age filter, and we're going to look at the balance filter. We're going to look at the harmony filter, and we're going to look at the filters of what brings out the best in me and my body and what reflects my personal style. So when you're looking at creating outfits and how much skin to show, Busby style, Erin Busby came up with what she calls it the one skin rule. And this is something, many of us have done intuitively for years. But if you put it that way to yourself, if you show skin in one area, it's going to create create a more balanced composition. Do we always have to do that? No, but it can really help you create that balanced and harmonious look that's going to make you feel more comfortable in your clothes. So focus on, maybe you show your shoulders, like it's a beautiful and feminine detail to show this summer. It's very trending. There are a lot of off the shoulder tops. They can cover our arms and still show our shoulders a little bit, and we can have that really feminine and pretty look. And then, you know, maybe you wear an off the shoulder top with pants or a longer skirt, so you're creating that balance and you're only showing skin in one place. Maybe you're wearing a shorter dress, but the dress is covered in other areas. So it's really about balance. It's not about, I have to stop showing my arms, I have to stop showing my knees, I have to wear loose, baggy, shapeless things after a certain age. None of that is true. Again, you're dressing your energy, you're not dressing your age. And so the rules about skirt lengths, sleeve lengths, all have to be filtered through the lens of what works for you, what brings out your best, and what you feel beautiful in. I want to, just for an example, for an illustration, short skirts are one of the most controversial. I wear shorter skirts all the time. I feel like I should be leaning into short skirts even more in my 50s because, as they say, the legs are the last thing to go, and I'm comfortable with my legs. If you're not comfortable with your legs, then you're going to want to skip the short skirts, and maybe you're going to show your arms, maybe you're going to show your waistline, whatever that looks like for you. So I want to show 4 different short dresses to show you why these rules are so arbitrary. Because there's a short dress and there's a short dress. There's a mini dress that's all sparkly and shiny and tight and all of the things, and can kind of be hard to wear. Let's face it, that can be a little bit hard to wear. And then there are, you know, flowy dresses, there are classic dresses, there are preppy dresses, there are really feminine dresses, and they're all short, but they look dramatically different. So the rule of don't wear short dresses after a certain age, you look at these and you're like, really? I can wear a couple of these. And then a couple of them I would pass on because they don't harmonize with me, they're not balanced, they don't bring out my beauty. These are the rules that we should be focused on. Not an arbitrary rule like stop wearing a short dress, not an arbitrary rule like stop sleeveless styles after 60, like none of those need to be applying, and none of those should be taken into this next phase that we're going through in life. Let's focus again on leveling up our style, be more you, look for harmony and balance in your clothes, and finally dress your energy, not your age. Those are the new rules of dressing our age in 2024. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think of what I unpacked today, because we touched on a lot of topics, really, right? How society has shifted, how the expectations for what we look like and dress like in our 50s and 60s and beyond has changed dramatically in the last couple of decades, and how that should be reflected in the way that we present ourselves. At the end of the day, my goal and my only goal here is for you to look and feel beautiful and confident. And so I hope that some of these strategies will help you do that. And I hope that you will consider booking a call with me for my Ageless Style program. I do have, little style sessions. We can hop on a call together. I can answer some of your questions. Not a sales call. There is no pressure. Truly want to be here to support you, because that's the goal of everything I do here. Also, comment with the word summer if you want a link to my summer style guide. I'm also going to have a link to it in the description box. I think it's going to really help you use your filters, your own filters, and come up with your own criteria for what makes it into that precious real estate of your wardrobe and what should be left out of that real estate in your wardrobe. So comment summer if you want that. Check the links in the description box to book a style session with me. Love you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe so that we can keep hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.